want to make this video, guys, and really just share my story, guys, of like how I got into fitness and why I'm so passionate about it. And it always confuses me to understand why some people aren't really into fitness. I never understand it. Like when I talk to people at the gym and I'm just like, oh, getting that work in, and they're like, yep, don't want to be here, but I'm here. And for me, it's like, I never understand that, because I actually want to be at the gym. Like, I actually enjoy working out. I actually feel a sense of clarity in my life after I work out. And it could be anything. It doesn't even have to be the craziest workout. I don't have to go in there and hit a PR and start going ham and cheese and just going crazy. Like, I could literally just go there, do a set of curls or two, do some pull-ups, take it easy for the day, and feel just so uplifted. And yes, I do have those days where I test myself, I go heavy, and then I have those days where I just go for like a run, or I'll just shadow box, or I'll hit the boxing bag. And there's just this sense of feeling, guys, that I get from doing this. And I think it all goes back to when I was a kid. You know, when I was younger, my dad always grew up working out. My dad was a big gym head. He was always into the gym. He was like, I was always around the gym. Always. My whole life, I was around the gym. Like, I just would go with my dad, and I remember just realizing, like, I don't know what is going on here. These guys are jacked as hell. All the fucking proteins and, like, the pre-workouts, they just look like these crazy alien fucking steroids. It probably was just like a C4, but in my head, I was like, whoa, this is some crazy steroid, weird fucking X4, X5, explode, citrus, whatever. So I've always just kind of been around it. And honestly, my dad also got me into martial arts at a very young age. He got me into kickboxing when I was like 4 or 5 years old. And I remember I hated going there because I'd always go and get my ass whooped. And I was like fighting with, you know, training with like the older kids, like 8, 9, 10-year-olds. And they would bully me. And I just didn't look forward to it, man. I honestly just, I feel like the first couple years of my like early childhood ages, like from like 4, 5, 6 to like 9, I was just forced into martial arts. And I hated going. I didn't really like it. And then I started getting a little older, and I started kind of realizing like the benefit of it. And I started getting into sports, right? You know, I started playing a lot of basketball. I've always been into like soccer, basketball. So I've always been into sports. I've always enjoyed playing sports. I've always just found it fun. And, you know, I got to an age where I'm like 9, 10, 11, 12. When you start hitting like 12, 13, I'm training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I'm doing some boxing at the time. And that's kind of the age where you start realizing, like, all right, like, there's girls around, and this girl at class, she's just really cute. I'm kind of feeling her. And there's just something about like going to these classes and training that really made me feel like this confidence. And I don't know, it's just like this confidence that I felt inside me. And then I started getting into like, bodybuilding and weight training. Obviously I was like 12, I was like 13, 14. I didn't know what the hell I was doing, but I started lifting some weights. I started getting into like, push-ups and just really just trying to develop the body, right? Develop that body, playing a lot of soccer. So I was very lean when I was like 14, 15. I was very, very lean, very just defined. I wasn't jacked, but I was like skinny fit with like, muscles and like abs and, that soccer body, that body where you're just like really athletic. And dude, I was just like pulling chicks in high school, middle school, and I was just like, yo, this is crazy. Like I look really good. I had a lot of acne and stuff like that, so I didn't really feel like I was attractive, but personally my body looked good, and I was very happy. And I felt like I realized that was like that peak moment where you're like, wow, like my body is really a reflection of like my ability to attract people. And obviously when you're younger, you're thinking more or less about chicks, right? Or guys, or both, or whatever it is you guys are into, right? Or girls. So there's that point where you're just like, all right, yeah, well, I feel like I'm looking good and I'm attracting people. I want to stay this way, right? And then I ended up dating a chick, and I kind of just fell off. You always got that one girl you'll date or something that will just have you fall off your whole fitness plan. You'll just get too comfortable. you're not really locked in, but you're also young, so it's like, it's understandable, right? I mean, at 16, 17, you're not expecting your partner to know about macros and like healthy foods and diets, so you're just young and doing whatever, right? So then I hit a point where I just started really skipping the gym. I wasn't training in my martial arts anymore. I was just not really taking it serious, eating whatever I wanted, having little snacks, pizza, whatever. And I started to gain weight. Because I've always been a skinny kid. I've always been like the skinny, lean, athletic kid. And then I started getting big, like husky. And I wasn't working out. I mean, I would work out, but it wasn't like, it just wasn't consistent enough. I wasn't like locked in and dedicated like I am now. And I think for me, really the biggest reason why I'm so into fitness and I love it and I just need it is not only the mental clarity and the release that I get from it, but I really do believe that it ties down to those experiences of when I really started getting chunky. Because I was not happy with the person I became. I wasn't happy. Wow, this is crazy. I made the last video I made was also somebody calling me. It just happens, guys. You just, if you're going to tune into the show, you're just going to have to know that there's people going to be calling me all the time. And I don't know, this could be important. Oh, actually, it is important. All right, my people, we're back. I just handled some business. It's fine. I just guaranteed myself a $1,000 pay from a little deal I just did. Shit. Back to the story, guys. Back to the story. I started getting chubby. I started getting chunky. I was in a relationship, so I was kind of fine with it, but I also, deep down, my subconscious knew something was off. It was like, all right, you're kind of like, you're not looking so good anymore. Like, your face fat is looking a little crazy, belly popping out and shit. I just wasn't happy. And it just really started fucking with my insecurity and the way I perceived life. And it definitely affected my relationship a lot, because when you're not happy with yourself and you're insecure, you start to doubt a lot of things. And now that I'm looking back at it, I don't think I ever directly thought to myself like, yeah, I'm feeling insecure about this relationship because I'm fat. But I feel like subconsciously that's what was going on. And now that I look back at it, it's like, okay, because if I was really like lean and jacked, I think I would have known to myself, like, dude, I'm a fucking catch, right? Like, I don't think this chick's gonna do anything. But I had these moments and like these ideas in my head that I was just like, yo, this chick is like cheating on me, or like she's like, she's got a guy friend, like I don't know who the fuck this guy is, or like this and that. You're just going through shit, right? You're young, jealous, stupid, right? The point is, we end up breaking up, and I'm just like now single and chunky, and like just like you're just in this stage where you're like, all right, I got no chick now, I'm overweight, like what the fuck, what is going on? So I started locking in again. I'm like, let's do what hobby knows best. Hit the gym, work out. I had all the time. I'm like 18 years old, 19 years old. I'm back in the gym. I start losing the weight again. I get into boxing. Now I start taking boxing seriously. I'm going at the boxing for like, years now. And I'm like, dude, you know what? I think I'm going to go pro with this shit. I'm going to take this to the next level. And I'm starting to like the body again, right? And I start getting the body. I start leaning out. I start looking jacked and shit. And then I start realizing, like, okay, like now I look good again. And the hunt is on. I started looking for chicks. You're young. This is like teenager shit, right? Teenager shit. Honestly, if I would have looked back now when I was 18, 19, I would have been so locked in on like other things. But when you're young, you're not thinking that way. You're thinking about the moves, you're thinking about the parties, the chicks, whatever. So I start getting in shape again, and then I start realizing, like, all right, you know what, like, this is my safe place. And the gym has always just been my safe place. And I want to make this message for you guys, because a lot of you guys, you feel like you dread the gym, and you feel like, you don't want to be there, or you've maybe never even started. So you're just like, you know what, like, I would love to go to the gym, but how am I going to sit there? I'm like 20 pounds overweight. I'm going to be sitting in the bench press, and people are just going to laugh at me because I don't know what I'm doing. Or people are going to laugh at me because I'm not jacked, because I have a big belly. But I'm here to tell you that everybody has to go through that. Everybody that you see now, that you see today, that's jacked, fit, in shape, whatever, you need to understand that these people at some point, they they were not the way they are now, right? They had to start somewhere. Nobody's just born jacked. Like, you're not born with muscles. So we all go through that, because I felt that when I started getting chunky again and I went back into the gym, I started feeling that. Heck, I'd go to the beach, I couldn't even take my shirt off. I was like, dude, like, damn, this is crazy. Like, well, I can't even have my shirt off, man. And you get to a point where, like, you're just not happy. You're not happy, and it starts affecting everything else in your life, bro. It starts affecting your relationships and work. It starts affecting whatever goals you have, how people perceive you, how you think people perceive you, how you perceive yourself, standards, setting examples for other people in the family. Like, you need to understand that that being fit is not just about how you feel. Yes, it feels great once you start seeing the results and you start feeling that confidence, but it takes a while to get there. And once you start getting there, you start realizing that not only are you looking good and feeling good about yourself, but other people are feeling good and feeling that for you. Because everybody respects someone that's in shape. I sure as hell respect everybody that I see. Everybody that I meet that's like in shape, and I'm like, damn, this person's like, they take care of themselves. Dude, I have like utmost respect for those type of people. Regardless if they're natural or not, it doesn't matter. Like, the point is, you look good and you're doing something right. So whatever it is you're doing, like, you're doing it, right? And it's also about being that example for people too. Like, if you got family and stuff and you're like not setting the example for like a younger brother or like your dad or parents or something like that, or cousins or whatever, and you're just kind of like, whatever, I'm just gonna like look however I want, look like shit. Like, dude, you know people are looking up to you. Whether you know it or not, or they tell you that or not, like, people are looking up to you. Like, there's people that look at you and they see you as a role model, and they're gonna follow everything you do. So if you have a kid, a brother, a sister, older, younger, mom, dad, whatever, family, friends, like, people look at you and they judge you, and they either look at you as a set of an example of who to be or who not to be. And in life, you have to have people looking at you like as an example of what to be. And I promise you guys, when you start getting in the gym, I understand it's not fun in the beginning. It's not when you're out of shape, not when you're skinny, and not when you're overweight. When you're skinny, it's like, damn, I'm weak as hell. These guys are curling 50s. I'm over here curling 10s. Like, what the hell am I even doing here? And then when you're bigger, it's like, damn, bro, like, should I even be on the machine right now, or should I just go hit cardio? Like, I don't even know what to do. It's fine. It's fine. We all go through that. You need to have a structure, though. If you have a structure, you're going to be a lot better off than trying to figure it out on your own. That's for sure. And find a friend, man. Find somebody that you know that's in shape, or maybe they have the same vision, and have somebody help you out. And at the end of the day, you don't really need people, but if it helps you, go for it. Guys, getting in shape is going to be the best thing you're ever going to do. And it's going to just open up so many doors, mentally and physically, spiritually. There's just, like, you start to learn to love it. I promise you guys, if you just dedicate 6 months of trying to just eat better, work out consistently, and just try to just eliminate the negativity that comes with working out, I promise you, you will start to enjoy the results. You will start to love how you feel about yourself, about how other people see you. You're going to start feeling this confidence, this aura around you. It's just going to be vibrating through you. Everybody's going to feel it. I promise you. And it's going to take a while to get there. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to tell you that you're going to look like Brad Pitt in 6 months if you're 40 pounds overweight. It's not going to happen, but you will get there. You will get there. And it's not even about how you look too. It's about your health, man. There's so much garbage out there. There's so much processed food. There's so much chemicals and things in the air and viruses and crap and stuff that it just, you're not going to live long if you're not taking care of yourself. The food that we eat now is so poisonous. All that processed bullshit is just so bad for you. You're not going to live long. If you're eating crap and you're not working out, I got news for you, buddy. You're not going to live long. So you have to lock in. You have to fight the opposition. The opposition, they want you fat, broke, discouraged, unmotivated. Till next time, guys. I'm rooting for you. Another phone call. I gotta go, guys. I love you guys.